think the consumer is realizing how difficult, what a pain in the ass ultimate infinite choice is. And there's a ton of science that says the more choices they have, the more choices a consumer has, the fewer choices they actually make. So Jonathan, do you see an assemblage? I mean, you work with a lot of smaller players, like you said. Would a bundle of those services at a lower cost and ease of use work for consumers? Or are we, to Amanda's point, is that genie completely out of the bottle?
Well, first of all, there are a bunch of bundles today, so it definitely exists. And I think that some are more effective than other. And I think it goes back to UX in a way, because it's ease of use, and there's price and user experience and some marketing that also goes into it, or a lot of marketing that goes into it. And so if we unpack that, I mean, if you look at the Disney bundle that goes from Hulu and ESPN, and so that's a big bundle that has sports.
So lowest churning SVOD in all of streaming.
Well, also because it's also bundled with Verizon, and then the numbers are skewed by having it free with every unlimited 5G package that you buy with Verizon. So I don't use it because it's ad based, and I want to pay the premium, so I'm not even using it. But I am subscribed for Verizon and not paying, and I also get my Paramount through Walmart Plus, which I get for free through my Amex Platinum, and I also am a Peacock subscriber that I get through my streaming rebate from Amex Platinum. I get the $20 back, so I get that for free. So there's a lot of
that's a really great lineup of existing bundles that are already out in the ecosystem that I don't even really necessarily factor in when I start thinking about bundles.
So kind of like everybody came out with a mega service, and then my kids all want all these services because that's on this and this is on that and the other's on there. And I don't love this model, but the only one that I'm actually really paying real people dollars for is Netflix, because it's the center of it's the de facto, everybody has to have it thing still. And then all the others, I kind of get from free from all around, except for Hulu, which I pay extra for. So there's a lot of bundling happening. And also in our customer base, there are passport services, right? And TV Everywhere was kind of a first passport service here in the US. And I'm assuming that because of the time, most of our audience is in the US, but if we have audience in Europe that's interested in what's happening there.
Australia.
Well, it's not that similar. I mean, because there's a lot of free content in a model that really goes from the old days to the new days, and translated more one-to-one. It didn't disintegrate in that way. Here in the US, it all changed. So our customers are actually engaging in passport services, trying to see if I could have one subscription for several apps, right? So it goes between different aspects of our long tail service. And it more resembles the packages that you could buy on cable. So that thing, I think, is coming back.
The tiers. Yeah.
Right. So if you had the Viacom bouquet, so because Viacom is so big, then they moved that all to be Paramount Plus. But smaller customers who have value in fragmentation, also because of the way they sell targeted ads or sponsorships or integrations, because it's beneficial to have a portfolio of services. You can have one for all bundling, and to Matt's point on the ad break and the way that the UX is played, UX plays a huge role here. So we see from our numbers, it makes a huge difference if a user has to log in with a username and password on a smart TV, or if you have a QR code using an off-device flow authorization flow grant, and then you do that. And even now going to magic links. So you don't even have to do any login. You just get an email and you click a button. So talking about how you lower the bar and make it seamless, it's very important. And we have to remember, you mentioned before, and I think in our previous conversation, we talked about Roku and Samsung being such a big market share. We have to remember that Samsung, people that are listed in those numbers are people that just bought the TV set, and it's there and it's connected to the internet. It doesn't count how many people actually logged in and downloaded one single app on their own and expanded their platform beyond what was pre-bundled. And my suspicion, more than suspicion, I don't have any exact number, but I think we all agree that that number is dramatically lower than the amount of people registered as users of the platform. Unlike Roku, because when you buy a Roku stick, you actually express your intent to use it to download apps and to be part of this.
Yeah, I mean, look, the connected television doesn't necessarily mean it's being used as such. But when you look at the streaming numbers, Samsung got into it, Roku got into it very early, Samsung got into it very early, and as first movers, they gained a lot of advantage just from pure usage. But you're right. I mean, you should look at the streams versus the devices available.
When you think about these, Right, when you think about these bundling packages and lowering the bar, it becomes that much more important to lower the bar on the platforms that are harder to operate. So I think in that place.
Yeah, I mean, look, ultimately, we should all have a UX that is not hard to operate.